Hello everybody, my name is Sam and welcome to the channel called Fatalquest. Today we are painting a dragon, but not any dragon. We're talking about this big fella. Yes, big and red. But the reason I wanted to get back to this project is because I was a little disappointed that I left it the way it is. Because I used one of the more brighter red colors, which is Evil Sun Scarlet from Games Workshop. And the thing is, it's so bright that you don't have a lot of room to give it more highlights. So work from the red color to either pink or you go to orange. And I don't want this dragon to go either direction. So here we have the dragon. I did some pre-work already yesterday. I painted the skin. Why? Because I wasn't satisfied with the highlights I already had. So now you might think, okay, so we're gonna paint the skin. Well, no, I'm gonna start with the horns. I hope, and I guess everybody once had that feeling that it turns out exactly the way you wanted it. Well, it turned out even better. So now we're all zoomed in again and the gradient looks fantastic. Just amazing. I have no other words to describe it. I also did the horns in the middle and also that gradient looks perfect. Just have to do some edge highlighting on the face and I would say the horns are done then. And I must admit it is a little bit time consuming because you have to make a 50-50 mix of everything, go in between the lines, let it dry, go over it again, let it dry again. But hey, in the end, you do get a very nice transition between the darker colors into the lighter colors. And I think it's worth it.
And so now with the horns finished, it is time to move on to the skin. But I must admit that I'm actually very excited to do the skin, even though I just covered it all over again with red. It's just that I gained a lot of knowledge and experience in glazing and all that stuff. So let's see what we can make of it. But to prevent myself from making the same mistake, I decided to look up on Google on some sort of a color mixer, and eventually I found one.
So here we are at colordesigner.io. I'm going to mix an orange-brown color with red so we don't get a super high saturated pink, but somewhat more of a dull pink.
But this is already a lot better than bright pink or orange. So let's get started. So the skin is done. We have added 2 layers and I used the colors once more, Zandri Dust and Iron Rag Skin, because if I would add the color white to red, it would eventually get a lower saturation, while these two kept the saturation high, and that's exactly what I wanted. And in the meantime, there is something that I want to show you because it's something I am very happy about, and it is going to improve the recording of my miniatures. And that is this overhead camera mount. It came in this week. I've used it already and it just helps tremendously. It just allows me to record my miniatures from above, and that's just a fantastic perspective if you ask me, because usually I use this tripod and I will just put it on the side, but then most of the time when my hand comes into the camera, then it just gets all blurry on a miniature, as you can see on the background, and that is something that I want to avoid. But yeah, I'm really excited to show you guys this kind of stuff because this is just amazing. I just sometimes can't believe that I have this space up here in this house. This house is already a blessing that I was able to buy it from my parents, but the fact that I can adjust this space to my liking, to do these kind of upgrades, they really make me happy, and I really feel blessed for the opportunity that I have and that I can make these videos on YouTube. And if you do like these videos as well, then really don't forget to subscribe, because it doesn't only help me, but it also helps you as the viewer to just have some amazing, cool entertainment that maybe even get you fired up to do something for yourself, or maybe just watch these videos because they're fun. But enough about sponsoring myself. I want to continue with the dragon. Obviously, we have now finished the skin, we've done the horns, and there's something else I want to do, which is the belly. I wouldn't say I'm dissatisfied with the belly, but so far I've learned so incredibly much about glazing and wet blending that I do think I can do a better job. So that is something that I'm going to do now. So follow me.
So here we have the dragon in front of us, and as you can see, the belly is yellowish for now, but we're going to cover it up with Scrag Brown. This is a layer and I diluted it a little bit because there are already a lot of colors underneath and I don't want the paint to get too thick. Then I went over to Deathclaw Brown. This is also a layer. I glazed it together with the Scrag Brown so we get this this nice change in value. And then at last we went for Tau Light Ochre. This is somewhat of a yellowish color. Also, I glazed this together with Deathclaw Brown, and then eventually you get this nice 3D look on the miniature, which is what we're going for.
So now with the belly being done, you can clearly see the difference between the midtones and the highlights. There is a very nice transition between the lighter colors and the darker colors. I did this due to glazing, and it just looks fantastic, and I'm just very happy with how it turned out. This couldn't be further from what I wanted it to be like. So now with the belly being done, it's time to move on to the base. I already spent some time on this, since a mini like this takes roughly 30 to 50 hours, depending on how detailed you want the mini to be. In my case, I spent a lot of time on the mini because I wanted to look awesome. I decided to repaint the entire base with Dryad Dark and Evil Sun's Scarlet. Once again, we use a lot of red. We combine those colors and we get this nice brownish red color. I glazed it together with orange. I re-highlighted the edges where the lava came from. I glazed that together, and that ended up in a very nice transition between the glowy effect and the darkness of the stones. So this is something I'm actually very happy with, and it just turned out amazing, just like all of the other things we've done so far. Oh, and by the way, one more thing. Lately, my cat is joining me a lot here. I don't know why, perhaps she likes it a lot that I'm painting, but it just, I don't know, recently she just comes up a lot here. I don't know, I think she loves it, just sitting here with me, and I enjoy her company. She's so cute. Sometimes when I'm painting like there, and she just lays next to me, it's just so cute. If you have a pet, let me know in the comments. It's just fun to share, you know, I love pets. I hope you love pets too, pets are great. All right, enough about the cats and the pets. I want to move on to the dragon again. I'm going to focus on the wings now. As you can see, I already painted it with some sort of a gradient from blue to purple. But before we move on, I would like to mention all the things that we still had to do on this miniature since it's close to being finished. I still have to do the wings. I might do some highlights on, for example, the shoulders, parts in the face, and I also think we still have to do some of the glowy effect from the lava on the bottom side of the miniature. If we've done that, I think we could consider this miniature done, and I'm really happy about it. So on the screen, by the way, behind me, I already checked for examples for wings, if I could maybe do it differently, but I decided to stick to the method I already had, the gradient from left to right. Also, I'm going from blue to purple like I already had. So we're just going to make it nice. I mean, that's the whole point of painting, to make it nice. Alright, so we've now added the layers. I did multiple of them because it was still quite transparent, and I have to glaze them all together so we get this nice transition. We've only done this so far. We still have to do this one, but we have plenty of time. Alrighty, 2 hours later, and we finished both the wings. Yes, I was dedicated enough to do both of them in one evening. Took like 2 hours. I don't know, just took a lot of time to glaze them together, dry them up. I even had my hairdryer here to fasten up the process. But yeah, it looks amazing, it looks good. And it's the same as how it used to be with how the colors are transitioning, but now it's just done a lot better and a lot smoother, and I'm really happy how it turned out. And so fast forward into the present moment, I can finally say that the miniature is done. And even though I wanted to film and record a lot more about the painting process, I decided to wrap this video up since I was already in the assumption that this video would be a quickie since I already painted the dragon. I really did underestimate the time necessary to paint this miniature. So off the camera, I decided to finish the miniature, put on the edge highlights, give it the extra finishing touch, and eventually we ended up with such an amazing project, and you guys no longer have to wait. Here is the result. And if this isn't awesome, then I
don't know what is. And obviously that is subjective, because the thing that truly matters is that I love my own work. But if I do get the chance to inspire anyone to do something creative for themselves, well, that's good. Awesome, great. I want to wrap this video up. Once again, I had a blast creating this video, even though this was my first time recording, painting, and editing at the same time, and I was in the assumption that it would take a lot less time. I'm still very, very satisfied with how everything turned out. I mean, the miniature looks great, and I'm just looking forward to the next project. So if you like my content, and if you just love what I'm doing, if you love the work that I'm putting out, then stay tuned for the next video, because without you, I can't even build this channel. If I don't have anybody watching, then what am I doing it for? So once again, thank you for watching. If you like this content, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and then I would love to see you in the next one. So have a great day wherever you are, and let's get creative.